Welcome to the Italian Football Podcast.
Juventus make it 6 wins in a row. 3-0 win over Lazio. Probably Juventus's most emphatic performance of the season, I would say. So Allegri was a dead man walking just a couple of weeks ago, really. What has changed for Allegri, Nima?
I think it's a number of things. First of all, he's playing with the same structure and the same lineup, and he's got the balance right. The 3-5-2 with Kostic on that left wing, a strong central line. Fagioli's been an absolute revelation. Rabiot, I think, is the symbol of this Allegri 2.0 Juve. And everything is just clicked. It's all come together. And everyone is taking responsibilities when the big names haven't been there. When the Di Marias, the Vlahovics, the Pogbas, all these Paredes, etc., when they're not there, everyone else is taking responsibility, and it's all just come together, and it's so impressive. It feels like you could have played that game for 4 hours, and Lazio would never have scored a goal. Yes, Lazio were without Zaccagni, were without Ciro Immobile, and so on, but still, they're a good side, and Juve just dismissed them, just brushed them off. This looked like this had this air, this ruthless Allegri Juve air about them. That when his teams just go in there and win, and just ruthlessly win, and just dominate teams by their ruthlessness and just break teams mentally. I think the first goal was, of course, a howler by Provedel. But yeah, I mean, when Moise Kean looks happy as well. He looks he looks like he's really coming to his own. Scored 3 goals now, or 4 goals so far this season. He scored again, scored a brace. But no, it's all coming together. And I mean, as I said, I've said consistently that if Juve are out of the top 4 when the World Cup break comes, then I think Allegri will resign. Well, they're not out of the top 4. They're comfortably in third, a point ahead of Inter, 2 points behind Milan. They're very much in the top 4 race. And I think the top 4 race is becoming the top 4 that we all predicted would be there. It's Napoli, Inter, Milan, Juve, and that's where they are. And I think Kostic, above all, the fact that they're getting as much out of him as they can by playing him as a wing back, just shows everything. He's been their most impressive player, I think, during all of these 6 wins.
Yeah, a few things to say here. I mean, first of all, I agree with you. I think that the top 4 is now kind of developing a little bit into the top 4 that we would expect it to be before the start of the season.
No, we all said it. As I just said, we all tipped it to be that top 4.
Yeah. There are obviously big positives from this game. First of all, Juventus conceded virtually nothing in this game, and they created. I wouldn't say they created loads and loads of chances, but they created enough big chances to win the game by, they probably deserved to win this game by a couple of goals. Maybe not 3-0. That was maybe a little bit harsh, as Sarri said himself. But I think Juventus were 2 goals better than Lazio, and they didn't concede anything at all. The positives also are from an individual point of view that Moise Kean, 5 goals in 5 games. And I think he spoke after the game how he's been on a strict diet, lost a lot of weight. Nedved's prediction of him scoring 25 to 30 goals a season might not be as crazy as it once sounded. But I'm still not sure about him, to be honest. But I mean, he's on good form. I thought Kostic was great, like you said. Everything that Kostic does has substance. And that's what I like about him. He's a one-dimensional player. There's no doubt about it. He runs in straight lines, but he's direct. He gets the ball. He puts a cross in. He delivers well.
And he's concrete. He's a concrete.
Player. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's exactly what I mean. Everything that he does he does it with the view to having an end product with it. He's quite a minimalist player, to be honest, but it's all with a view to getting an end result, an end product. And the same with that shot. He just smashed that in okay, Provedel made an error, but, you know, he hit it in with such pace that is likely, sometimes those kind of things happen, you know. So, you know, Juventus have put themselves in a position now where, you know, they can get Chiesa, Di Maria and Pogba back in the new year and fully fit, then all of a sudden, you know, they should get the top four. They always should get the top four. I don't want people to
they will
suddenly
finish
start
in the top four.
I don't want people to start. Yeah. What I would say about this is this, right? Yes, you know, it's good. They've won 6 games in a row. I think they're definitely fighting for each other now. They're playing for each other. There was lots of question marks about had he lost the dressing room and everything. And maybe, you know, maybe there was a lot of people doubting him. But now they are playing for each other right now. It's not good football. It's not the kind of football that I like seeing. It's counter-attacking football. You know, Lazio had, I think, 61% of possession in the first half. You know, I don't like to see that football. I don't think it's sustainable at a high level. You know, if we're talking Champions League, that, as you say, you tweeted it yesterday, I have high standards and I don't think it's befitting of a big club to play that way and, you know, to compete at the Champions League. But, you know, it's a start. They now need to maintain it. They have to maintain it now. You know, it's a good, they've gone on a good run of form, but let's not, you know, get all these prisoner of the moments and these Allegri disciples are all of a sudden saying that everybody that's been criticising Allegri, and that includes yourself, Nima, not just me, are all of a sudden...
I have been criticising Allegri, but you've been saying that he's finished and he's a dinosaur. I've never said that.
Yes.
Well,
I have. But I stand by that. At the highest level, I say he's finished. But, you know, people are using this 6-game winning run as a kind of... to make a point that everybody that's been doubtful and criticised Allegri are all of a sudden wrong. Well, they haven't. All they've done is they've just gone on a good run of form. They haven't achieved anything.
The league table doesn't lie, does it? I mean, it doesn't lie. And if you look
exactly, that's what I mean. Exactly, that's the whole point. You know, they're 10 points off Napoli, and if you're assessing the season as a whole, it's been an incredibly negative season so far for many reasons, from results to performances to injuries to finances, and only some of this is Allegri's fault. It's not all Allegri's fault, but let's not all suddenly paint like this Juve of suddenly, just because they've gone on a good run, that suddenly everything is okay, that everybody that criticised Allegri is wrong, everything that's happened this season is forgotten. The fact that Juventus had their worst season in history in the Champions League and took 3 points from a group, you know, all of a sudden, all of that is forgotten. So far, it's been an incredibly negative season for us. They're on a good run, great, fantastic. They have to continue. They're going to.
I think Juve's season is very reminiscent of Inter so far, and that is that they've had their crises and they've been at times absolutely dreadful, but they're still 31 points. They're in the top 4. Inter had a great Champions League group stage. Juventus did not. I'd say that's where the differences are between them. They're both in contention for top 4. I still think that a Scudetto run might be a little bit out of both of their hands, but you never know, because as we said, you go into January, Inter host Napoli, 2 games, a week or so afterwards. Juve play Napoli, and then Napoli play Roma. So it's crunch time now. It's squeaky bum time, and it's time for Napoli to show what their mettle is, because the Scudetto's not won in November or January or anything like that. It's won in May.
Listen to the full show and all other episodes by going to patreon.com/TIFP and become a member for only $2.99 per month.